Now we turn to Turkiye. As you know, the country is in turmoil. Protests have rocked the nation for 7 straight days. They began last Wednesday after the arrest of Istanbul's mayor. His name is Ekrem Imamoglu. He is widely seen as a main rival to Turkiye's president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The Turkish protesters believe that his arrest was politically motivated, a way to get him out of the running and clear the path for Erdogan ahead of the next election. So today, let's take a closer look at Imamoglu, who he is, what he has achieved, and why Erdogan is desperate to be rid of him. Here's our report.
Başkanım, her şey güzel olacak. Kendinize iyi bakın. Bunlar geçecek.
The protests in Turkey began after this. Police officers descended on the house of Istanbul's mayor, Ekrem Imamoglu. It was an early morning raid. Imamoglu saw what was going on outside and he got ready to surrender. He put up this video ahead of his arrest.
Üzülerek söylüyorum.
I am saddened to say that a handful of minds trying to usurp the will of our people have used my beloved police, the security forces of this country, as a tool for this evil, and have piled hundreds of police at my house, at the door of the residence of 16 million Istanbulites. We are faced with great tyranny, but I want you to know that I will not give up. I love you all very much. I entrust myself to my nation. Let my entire nation know that I will stand tall. I will continue to fight against that person in his mind that uses this entire process as an apparatus.
Hepinizi çok seviyorum ben kendim.
Imamoglu said he would continue to fight against the person who was weaponizing the legal process. He didn't say the name, but all of Turkey knew he was talking about the president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Erdogan has been trying to get rid of Imamoglu for years. And he took this latest shot on Wednesday morning. That is what sparked the massive protests in Turkey. Imamoglu is considered Erdogan's main rival. He was to officially be declared the opposition's presidential candidate on Sunday. The police apprehended him before that could happen. But the Turkish opposition party elevated Imamoglu nonetheless. Ekrem Imamoglu was born in 1970, near Turkey's northeastern city of Trabzon. He later moved to northern Cyprus, where he studied in local universities. He eventually transferred to Istanbul University in 1990 to complete a bachelor's degree in business administration. Imamoglu later did a master's in human resources management, again from Istanbul University. After graduating, Imamoglu ran a restaurant in Istanbul and also managed his family's construction business. He eventually became a board member for a Turkish football club in his hometown. In 2009, Imamoglu took the political plunge, and 5 years later, he won his first political office, becoming mayor of a district of Istanbul. In 2019, he was declared the mayoral candidate for all of Istanbul. The city had been controlled by Erdogan's AK party and its predecessors for 25 years. Imamoglu was facing an uphill battle, but somehow he prevailed. He won by a razor-thin margin of 13,000 votes. So, Erdogan's party made an appeal and invalidated the election. There was a rerun 2 months later, and Imamoglu won again. This time with a margin of about 800,000 votes. Erdogan and his party not only failed to oust Imamoglu, they made his mandate stronger. So it seems the Erdogan regime decided to change tack. They started going after Imamoglu through legal means. In 2022, the Istanbul mayor was sentenced to 3 years in prison and barred from politics because he had called Turkey's Supreme Election Council fools. These were the people who annulled the first Istanbul mayoral election in 2019. Imamoglu appealed the verdict, and the case is still ongoing. But the lawfare didn't stop there. Last Tuesday, Imamoglu was dealt another blow. His bachelor's degree from Istanbul University was revoked, apparently because the Cypriot university he transferred from wasn't recognized at the time. This happened 31 years ago. Istanbul University didn't have a problem when he was transferred, and they even let him pursue a master's degree after this. So clearly, the problem is a new one. And it just so happens that a Turkish presidential candidate needs to have an undergraduate degree, which means the revocation would rule Imamoglu out. Imamoglu's degree was revoked last Tuesday, and less than 24 hours later, he was arrested on charges of corruption and aiding terrorism. The Turkish courts have decided to keep Imamoglu imprisoned, even as he awaits the results of his corruption trial. The courts have rejected a detention on the terror charges, for now anyway, because he's already locked up. That is how things stand at the moment. It's clear that Erdogan's regime has been relentless in trying to oust Imamoglu. The reason for this is simple. Imamoglu has a track record of defying Erdogan. He beat Erdogan's candidate twice in 2019 and then again in the 2024 Istanbul mayoral election. Imamoglu has shown Turkiye that Erdogan is not invincible, and that is why Erdogan wants him gone. After all, authoritarianism needs despair to thrive, and Imamoglu has been a rare glimmer of hope for the Turkish people.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.